Hello. Hi, guys. I think we are live. I'm going to work on weight shifts and hips, okay? Because I know this is a big question that I get all the time. Like, a lot of ladies will ask me, hey, how come I look so flat when I'm dancing? Or I have a trouble moving the hips. But before we start to move the hips, it's really important for us to understand our body, right? Just as dancers, I think it's important that we understand what is the body doing, right? What is the body feeling? Instead of just like going in it blindly and, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, we have to understand what the body is doing before going into hips and all that good stuff. So that's why I want to talk about weight shift first, because it plays a lot when we get into hip motion. And weight shift alone is an important tip on its own, right? Because you have to understand when you walk, if you're weight shifting, properly weight shifting, I should say, on the balls of the feet to make sure you're not doing any of this, or make sure we're not like dead weight shifting, right? There's a lot of things that come into play, okay? So I'm going to get started. I just want to check to see if, okay, good, you see me, yay! Okay, you have to log into Facebook first. Sounds and looks great. I can hear and see. Yay, hello, hi Irene, hi Deb, hi Stephanie. Cool, I'm so glad that you guys are here. And you're welcome for the class. My pleasure. So I guess, looking forward to moving our hips. Cool. So I guess, I don't know if everyone has to sign into Facebook. I think that's an option. You can also log in as a guest to use the chat. But yes, if you have Facebook, go ahead and do that. I think that is a better option. Okay? So I'm just going to get started with the class. So let's get into weight shifting first. Actually, I'm going to face this way so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Weight shifting first, okay? What is a weight shift? Yes, I mean, simple terms, right, is when we completely shifting the weight. So if you want to do this with me, right, you just want to come onto one leg. For now, you understand that it's a complete weight shift, right? When one leg is completely weight shifted. Then I will just switch to my left. I'll do it this way. This is my right. This is my left, right? This is when we are completely shifted. Now, it's important to understand what the upper body is doing as well when you're weight shifting, right? Because if you're doing this, yes, slouching, and there's no like stacking of the spine, and then there's just like, your rib cage is just kind of like sunken in and the belly's hanging out, right? Weight shifting, and try that, right? Try to really relax the body like this, like just let it like fall. Right? You're just like, and then if you try to weight shift, you're going to feel more like, right? Like a Frankenstein dead weight. It's like, boom, boom. I might be exaggerating, but I just want you to understand that this is not the weight shift that we do when we're dancing, okay? So how do I get a lighter or a more stacked weight shift, right? So again, it's going to happen in the upper body. So what I want you to do is now you're going to stand tall. So think of like your spine, your neck is nice and tall, and nothing is like tense, like, yes, I'm like super straight, but it's more just like you're aware, like if somebody's pulling a string, you're more like lifted, right? We call it stacking the spine, right? So it's like vertebrae on top of vertebrae, yeah? We call it stacking the spine. Now, if I think of just nice, straight up posture, right, you can already feel your body lifting, right? As opposed to, again, that I did this, right? Slouch. So I'm lifted. The shoulders are in their pockets. Shoulders, all right? They're not here. They're in their pockets. Again, nothing is like this. In their pockets, right? Shoulders are back, in their pockets. This is relaxed. The neck is relaxed. It's nice and tall. Now let's go down, right? Let's talk about the rib cage. My rib cage is closed, right? Because if I do this, it's kind of compressed. Or if I do the overarch, it's open. Right now, it's closed, right? So play with the little things that I'm saying, right? Slouched, compressed, overarched, which is open right now. Now we're actually... So we're also thinking of the rib cage wrapping around the spine, right? When you do that, if you're like overarched, and I'm going to show you my belly a little bit and my butt. If you're overarched, you already feel that the rib cage is open, right? And now if you take your hand and you just like, right, you feel it close, and you should feel it stacking or wrapping around your spine, okay? So now, again, nothing is tense. It's just stacking the spine. You're nice and standing up tall, and here. I do bring the belly in a little bit, right? I don't want to think like squeezing, but I do engage the core. And I also think about the tailbone facing down, right? Because if it doesn't face down, again, I'm overarching. This is it, right? I have a tendency to overarch. It's something that's just a bad habit for me. I've done it my whole life, even in dancing, right? I overarch. Things that I am aware of on the dance floor, if I feel myself overarching, it used to give me a lot of lower back issues, which led into other issues. So now I'm more aware that tailbone down, yes, spine is stacked, rib cage is wrapping on the spine, head is tall, right? So now you should feel like you're lifted. So when you do this weight shift, right, it should feel more of a nice, clean weight shift, yes, instead of here, right? Boom. So let's try that, right? Let's go through let's go through everything I just said, yes? My neck is long, okay? My shoulders are in the pockets, but they're down, not like this, just down. My rib cage closed, wrapping around the spine, tailbone down, belly engaged, yes? Nothing is tight and tense. So now when I do my weight shift from my right, you want to also think about what exactly is weight shifting, yes? It's not the leg by itself, because you say, oh yeah, here, I'm weight shifting, right? You're taking your center, or we say the pelvis, yes, we take the center and the pelvis, and this is what's going to completely feel like a full shift, yeah? Once again, everything is stacked. With everything stacked. So I think about my center as my pelvis and the center of my body, right? Chest, yes, and pelvis. And we're going to talk about that when we get into our walks and our hips. So now I'm completely weight shifted, yeah? And now I want to think again. I'm moving through this center, right? Not through the leg. Just like we don't walk like this, right? We walk like this, yeah? We take the whole body that's nice and tall and stacked, and we think about moving it, yes? Or we move it, yeah? So actually, let's give me some walks, right? Walk without any hip motion, because I'll get into that. Walking, think of walking with the center. Walking, and now think of walking back. Still, my center moves. So the whole body goes as one piece, right? That's why it's important to understand what all this is doing at the top, yeah? Wrapping around the spine, and now I think about the pelvis shifting the weight. Now I shift to the right, I shift to the left, I shift to the right. I'm sorry, I go forward. I go forward, but it's the right foot. Go forward with the left. Side to the right, right? Nice and tall, tailbone down. Back onto the left. Remember, the pelvis is the one that you're thinking of that's moving, right? Moving back. Let me do this way, yes? So remember, nice, closed, stacked, tailbone, and go forward with the whole center of my body, yeah? This is just practicing the weight shifts. So play with it, right? To left, forward, and back, and back, right? So actually give me like a really bad posture, right? Like this, okay? Yes, here, not thinking of what's happening with the body. I'm just doing my 1, 2, 3, you know, right? Because I do see a lot of this, especially when you're first learning. You're just getting like the dropping, right? The dropping, right? Big difference than up, wah, 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 okay? Making sense so far? I'm going to check in with questions, okay? Making sense so far. Let's see how we're doing. Hopefully you're doing it with me. I still see some. Okay, good. Found it through Facebook. Cool. Okay, making sense. Up until here, we have any questions? Because I'm going to start using the weight shifts into the hip motion, okay? Into the hip motion. So everybody cool up until here? If I don't see any questions, I don't know how long the delay is, but up until here, we should be okay, okay? Now, good. Makes sense. Awesome. Perfecto. Okay, good. So now, right, when we talk about hip motion, right, because everybody's like, oh, I need to learn how to move my hips. A a lot of this is going to apply, right? Because when I usually do my drills in my class, right, I usually have them stand in the center. But I'm going to actually take this moving so it makes a little more sense, okay? Because I'll show you what it looks like before we actually get into the technique of it, right? So when I actually take my first step in my basic salsa, right, I step on the gung kum, and I'll get into that, which is before the one, right? I'm going to actually press, and the hip goes back, right? The hip goes back. I press and go back. Press and go back, right? So the reason I did the weight shift drill or technique in the beginning is because when I do this drill, which I've noticed, right, I see a lot of people doing this. So you see how the legs and the hips are moving kind of like, let's say singular, right? So it's like just this one, this one, this one, this one, right? It's not really attached to my center. So when I do my drill in the center, I noticed a lot of people just shifting like this, ba, 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 right? Meaning this is kind of like doing its work on its own, and this is doing work on its own. We don't want that when we're doing a pressure and a weight shift, and a hip motion. We want the weight shift, the pelvis to come into mind, right? Everything that I said with the stacked and the lifted and the closed, I make sure that I am getting the weight, right, the center of my weight over the leg. Even though it's one leg going by itself, it doesn't work by itself, right? It actually, the pelvis goes over so that I can shift the weight. Shift the hip. Yeah, shift the hip. So when I go to press, I have to make sure I get this stacked feeling. I'm getting a stacked feeling because I'm shifting the center down to shift the hip. Yes? So again, if I go forward, I think of the center going forward, stacking it, and then I press, and the hip actually releases to go back, okay? Let me do it in this direction. Hopefully this is not too complicated, yes? So again, right? Here, belly in, tailbone down. When I go forward, also you want to think about your knees being bent, right? You never take your salsa basic or any kind of dancing, we don't do with the heel. We do with the ball, right? It's ball flat, ball flat, ball flat, ball flat. So constantly my feet are doing this. Ball flat, ball flat, ball flat. So if you notice when people say, oh, you have to bend your knees, why? Why am I bending my knees, right? No one really actually tells you why you need to bend your knees. You're bending your knees so that you automatically, when you take the step, your foot is pointing down because this is how you want to land, right? If you have a straight knee, you're going to land like this, flat-footed, yeah? So my knees are bent. So my weight right now is on my left. I am nice and stacked on the left. I want to take my first step in the salsa basic on 2. So again, my knee is bent. I'm going to also think of the center going forward, right? Not just the leg, me, center of my body. And then when I get there, to press and to make the hip go back, I have to think of everything pressing down. You want to also think like the chest or the center of your body is pressing down to get that hip to shift back. Yes? So now that you're here, right, the full weight should be on the right. Yeah? So now let's try it going forward with the left. So knee is bent. I'm going to take my first step, right? Going to take my first step. I just want to show you why my knee is bent, because my foot should be facing down. Now, I want to go think of with the pelvis. Forward, press everything from the center, nice and stacked, press it down, and the hip will go back. Yes? So we do a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on here, right? Actually, knee bent. I'm moving through my center as one piece, right? Moving through my center, I'm going to press down on the floor, making sure my center is also pressing down. Ha. Now I release the weight off the left, and the hip can shift and go back. Again, right? This is super slow, but we're going to build into cha-cha and then build into salsa so you can see how you get more hip motion, right? So now weight's on the right. I want to go forward. I think of ball, push, whoosh. Yeah. Let me do it forward so you can you can see what I mean by whoosh, right? It's and I don't want you to think as oof as in compressing. I want you to think as if like I'm still nice and tall, but now somebody's taking this and pulling it down into the leg, right? So again, weight's on the left, knee is bent on my right. I'm going to go forward with the center. Now I'm going to shift the whole weight, press down, and look at the hip. It has nowhere else to go. Wah. Has nowhere to go if I think of driving the center down, right? And I don't think of doing this. Up. It's wah. And wah. And wah. And whoom. And whoom. And whoom. And whoom. Whoom. Center and push. Shift. Center and press and push. And center, press and push. Center, press and push. Keep going. Center, press and push. No weight is on the left. It went all the way to the right. Center meaning center is going. Center, press and push. Center, press and push. Center, press and push. Center, press and push and shift back. Keep going, and try to answer the questions as you keep doing it, right? You want to think driving the force, driving the force, driving the force, and shoom, and shoom, and shoom, and shoom. Yes? I want to show you what it would look like if you don't, right? It's more like, right? Remember how I said the leg and the hip are working on its own? It'll just be like that, right? Because the center is not able to, right? There's no center, there's no weight to be able to press. You need something to press down, yeah? So if the leg is working on its own, I have nothing, this part is not driving the weight into the leg, so it's not shifting anything. And if it's doing the hips, it means it's doing it on its own. Right? Doing it on its own. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the center to drive the hip. Wah! So it should feel like you're really trying to push something down. Because the head also is staying level, right? If I go up, 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 again, the weight is not pressing down. And down. And down. Okay? So again, if I do up and the head moves, look at my legs. They're just kind of like, that's swing. Da, 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 right? So we're not doing swing, yes? We're doing a drive. Like, you need the weight to say, oh my God, I have to shift this weight back. I have to shift this weight back and shift. So I shift the pelvis or the center of my body over the leg to press it back because the head doesn't go anywhere. And back and back. Yes? So far, so good? Talk to me! Okay, let's see. Hi, Mariette. Yay. Hi, Rosa. Okay, Stephanie, that's a good question. I am a hyperextender, really bad habit for me. The leg, she's asking, is the leg that I'm pressing hyperextended? It should be soft, yes? It should be not hyperextended. I am a hyperextender because that's just my bad habit. But the one that I'm pressing, you mean after I finish? Yeah, it should be a bent knee right at the end. Yes, I am, especially when I do my drills, I do hyperextend. It's not a good thing, but you want to think of soft at the end, right? So I press, release, and yes, there should be a little bit of a bent knee, right? Press and release. My daughter actually does the same thing. I just come to find out she's a hyperextender. Yeah, good question. Anything else? Great tip. Good. Cool. So let's move on. I can hear and see. Okay, good. No questions. I'm going to move on to how we put this into actually, let's do it with music first before I put this into a salsa basic. I'm going to do it with cha-cha music so we can practice. We can practice the slow, right? And I'm going to, for now, before I talk about the kum, yes, because I also want this to be a little bit of adding musicality into the hips, which might be different for a lot of you who are learning with the numbers. So for now, I'm going to do the core beats, which is the 1, 3, 5, and 7, just doing the walks, okay? We're going to do it... how come I'm on the other side, Joel? How come I'm on that side? Yeah. Oh, okay, because I'm opposite? Okay, got it. All right. So they see it right here? Okay, good. So if we're going to do it in this direction, and I'm actually going to go forward and back, so follow me like by my side, okay? I'm going to put a cha-cha, and we're going to do core beats. I'll show you in a second. This is my right hand. Yeah. This is my right. That's right. I'm sure they would have told me if I was opposite. This is my right? Okay, now if I say follow me here, what does it look like on that part? Sorry, we're just making sure you guys see me. I'm not mirroring you. Yeah? Okay. Cool. Oh, really? That long? Oof. Okay, but before it was like 5 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to do cha-cha. You're going to... okay. We're going to just follow along, and we're going to do it on the 1, 3, 5, and 7. Right, so this is 1, 3, 5, 7. Sorry, guys. the benefits of going live. We're just going to change my battery so I don't go out. Can't be always perfect, right? Okay. Actually, instead of doing 1, 3, 5, 7 with the walks, we're going to hold 2 core beats. So we're going to do 1, 3, 5, 7. Just so you guys get the drill, and then we'll move it up, right? So I'll show you, right? 5, and we're going to do 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1 and 3, 5 and 7, right? So we're working on the hip motion with the weight shift and slow so you guys can really understand the movement of the hip, okay? Here we go. 5 with the right. We do 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5 and 7. 1, 3, 5 and hold, right? Then we're going to go back, stay in this position, but I'm just going to shift the weight on the back, on the right leg, right? 5 and 7. 1, 3, the hip's still going back. 7. 1, 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3 and stay here. I push 1 and shift 5 and let's hold, right? Now I really want you to check in with your weight shift. So just nice and slow. I'm going to go forward and stay, yeah? So we're going to do this. 1 and 3. Check in. Check in. This is fully shifted, right? If I just went back on the right, now I'm going to release the shift off of the release the weight off of the left. 1 and 3. So let's do that, right? 1 and 3. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Notice I press 1 and 3. 1 and 3. I'm going to do it in this direction, right? So I'm going to do 1 and 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3. I'm rounding it out. And 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3 and 5 and 7 and 1 and 3 and 5 and 7. Basic. I mean, in the center. 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Now, 1 and 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5. Go forward. 1, 3, 5. Go back. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5. Go forward. 1 and 3, 5 and 7. 1 and 3, 5 and 7. This way again. Yes? So far so good? Let's actually just do the walks without the hips, right? So we can really practice or remember the stuff. Just walking. 1, 3, no hips. 5, 7. What's leading? What's leading? You said pelvis, that's good. Five. 1. 5. Good. 1 and 5. Let's add the hips. 1, 5. Remember the press. Wah. 5. 1 and 5. Let's go back. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. Let's stay here. And 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. And a 1. And a 5. And a 1. And a 5. Try to smooth it out. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. And 5. 1. 5. 1. 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. Yes? Yes? Talk to me. This should be pretty straightforward. If I explained it the way I wanted to explain it correctly, you should be feeling more of a nice and grounded feeling, right? As you are also keeping your posture, right, nice and tall. You should just be feeling the bottom half working, right, doing the work. But again, it's not doing it singular, right? It's doing it with the upper body or the center, yeah? That's how it should feel, okay? Because when we take our first step at all, it's like, why am I explaining this, right? For those of you like, well, why is she saying this? Anytime I take a step in salsa, which I said in the beginning, you have to understand what the body is doing, right? We can't just go into dance blindly. It's like going into any physical activity. We cannot go into working out at the gym like, you know, I don't know, give me something here. Say this is a weight. And I'm just like, okay, let's start working out, right? With zero technique. Imagine I'm just like flopping the arm. 1, you will get hurt. 2, you really won't do anything for the body, right? So to make sure that everything is working and you're working as a whole piece, it's actually physical activity. 1, you'll really be using muscles, and 2, you'll feel connected, grounded, everything that these things that teachers are saying, like, oh, you have to have this grounded feel. Oh, you have to look connected, looking clean, making sure you're doing the lines, right? This is the stuff that we have to know in the beginning, but what does that mean, right? What does this mean? So I'm going to get into more of the basics with the weight shifts. And let me see who has a question. I find myself prematurely transferring my weight diagonally because the illusion of the hips semicircle movement. The transfer of the weight is forward, yes. I find myself prematurely transferring my weight diagonally. I see what you mean. Like this. I guess depending on what you're doing, because the illusion of the hip semicircle motion, transfer of the weight is forward. Yes, the transfer of the weight is forward, and also in the basic step, yes, Nicole, right? Depending on what I'm doing also, right? If now a lot of people are, we use the kum kum, right, which is the sounds of the tumbao. You can use, right, the kum kum to the side, yes, the kum kum, da, da. Right? So depending, again, but if you're talking about basic, yes, my weight is going forward, right? And my leg is going forward. I always have a little bit of a turned out foot, right? At least I try to have a turned out foot, right? Instead of going in, you want to have the foot either facing directly or out, yes? So that's the only thing that would be actually going in a little bit of a diagonal outward. But when I come forward, yeah, right? When I press, the hip is going circling but going back. Because if I think of the hip going out, or from here, right, I'm doing a different move here, right? I can do my 6, right, or my 2 to the side, my side basic, but I want to actually think going forward. Forward, pressing, hip has nowhere to go because I'm driving the weight down. Yeah, so it goes back. And down and back. Down and back. But yes, I am going in a forward direction. Okay? Making sense? If you like this. Oh, okay. That was Joelle. I'm like, what? That's a weird question. But yeah, we're going to also talk about the 2 and the 6, because this is really when I weight shift completely is my slow count, right? And again, we use the conga beats, right? We use the tumbao rhythm to do our regular basic because it gives us a little bit of more of a musical feel, a musical look, and a musical connection, yes? So if I think about actually connecting to a sound, for me, I feel like it starts to round out my basic because now I have something to attach it to, right? Rather than a number, right? A number is just like, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So even though I'm giving you these drills to move the hips, for me, it makes more sense. Like, okay, now let me give it to you with a sound so you can actually internalize, right, the conga beat and make the basic and everything that I'm talking about look more fluid, yeah? This is why we use the conga beat when we teach salsa, when myself and Joelle teach salsa and any of the shines and stuff. Are you always going to step on the 8 and the 4? No, definitely not. Because if I'm traveling, right, say I'm traveling, sometimes I catch the end. Sometimes I catch the actual 4. Sometimes I catch the 4 end, right? But I make sure at least have a beat and a half because I have more control of my body when I'm doing something. I don't get there on the exact time, right? On the exact number, I should say. So I don't get there on the 5, right? Because it's a slow, yeah? So what I mean is, right, the conga, the drums, the sound of the drums, which is here, right? It's in our studio at home. It makes 2 main sounds, right? 2 main sounds. The hollow sounds, right, are the ones that do the kum kum, right? The center, right? I don't know how to play, so I shouldn't even try, and I'm not a musician. The kum kum, or the soft, hollow sounds, is my center step. When the conga makes the slap, the ba, that's going to be my quick step, which is either my 2 or my 6. Yes, it's a sharp step, right? So you have more time to be like ba, ba, right? 2, 3, ba, ba. But when you're doing the kum kum, the center, right, which hits before the 1 and before the 5, I actually hit on the 8, right? So if I'm here on my 6, 7, still thinking of everything I talked about, and I go forward on the gung gung step with the right, it rounds it out for me, right? Gung gung, ba. Gung gung, da ba. Gung gung. Now I have something to connect my full weight, right? My full weight shift or my slow step. Yes? Some who are dancing first time and they're going to teach you the 1 2 3, right? 1 2 3, hold, 5 6 7, hold. 1 2 3, hold, 5 6 7, hold, right? It's not wrong. Yes, that is the way you teach with the numbers. But if I wanted to hit before the 1, I would hit 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, or gung gung 1, ba, gung gung, ba, gung gung, and gung gung ba ba. Yeah? So I'm going to now use, I'm not going to get into the basic, I just want to show you what it looked like. I will get there, but I'm going to use the same song, but now instead of going on 1 3 5, I'm going to use the weight shift for the gung gung, right? And you probably heard it but didn't pay attention because I didn't mark it out. So now okay, so here's my gung gung. Ba. 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 So that gung gung 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 8 and 1 ba. 4 and 8 and so the conga, right? Those little sounds really only hits on the 4 end and the 8 end. But in dancing, since I have to hit the 1 and the 5, I get to hold the 8 and 1, 4 and 5. I get to hold the 2 beats, right? 2.5 beats, whatever you want to call it. It's actually 2 beats. Ba.
La vida te trae sorpresas.
Gung gung.
Con ricura y calidad, Freddy.
Gung gung.
Tenemos hermano mío
Gung gung.
Tromboranga.
Gung gung. I'm using the same technique. Yes? Let's do it this way. So the weight again is going to be on the left. I'm nice and tall. Tailbone down. I'm stacking the spine. Yes? Weight is on the left. The knee is bent. It's not hyperextended like I normally do. Yeah, so we're going to go forward. Gung gung.
De la tierra
Gung gung.
bien sabrosa.
Gung gung.
Venimos para cantar. Óyeme, Diego,
Stay here.
lo que te digo.
Again with the left.
Con nosotros la gente va a bailar.
Gung gung 1. Gung gung 5. 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 Gung gung.
De Cuba y de Venezuela.
Gung gung.
La ricura y la calidad.
Gung gung 1, 2, 3,
Los
4, 5.
corazones que cantan.
Gung gung 1.
Y en el mundo no hay igual
Gung gung 1. So now I'm not going to say it, but I want you to hear.
Oye, desde México a Patagonia, desde Cuba hasta el Japón, se siente una fiebre sabrosa. Es el ritmo que tiene el son. Ahora soy yo, que viene de Cuba.
Don't forget all the things that we talked about. Stack and push. Sorry. I missed the gung gung.
Oye, qué lío.
Go forward.
Ahora soy yo. Ay, qué bonito. Qué bonita tuvo tu ritmo.
You catch both.
Ahora soy yo. Esa es la inspiración que tenemos. Ahora que cantamos mano a mano.
my feet. Boom, boom.
Y que lo sepa la gente
Boom, boom.
que aquí no hay rivalidad,
Boom, boom.
que tú y yo sí somos
Boom, boom.
hermanos.
Boom, boom.
Claro que sí nos
Boom,
une
boom.
la clave y el
Boom, boom.
sentimiento
In the
de
center. Boom,
humanos.
boom. Boom, boom. Now when I do it in the center, it's harder, but I have to still think of everything. Pressing down. Boom, boom.
Y ahora Rafaelito
Boom,
va a poner una notica.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. I try to listen.
Vaya Rafa.
Boom, boom. Ba. So where do you think that slap is gonna go? On my 2 and my 6, right? 6 and boom, boom. Ba. Ba. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. Da. Ba. Let's try to focus. Bam, 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 bam. Ba. Drive. Drive it down. Da. Drive it down, right? All you want to feel is this grounded, pushing feeling. Wah. 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 So watch the hips. Ba, ba. I'll talk about the hips on the 2 and the 6. Ba, ba,
Que te
ba,
trae el
ba.
sentimiento
Ba, ba.
directo del corazón. El que te va a poner a bailar con este ritmo sabroso. Hay aborto de trombonanga, mamá. Escucha
Side
la
to side.
voz del trombón. Vaya, trombonanga en la
Right? So it's not
calle.
this.
Vaya, rompe los cueros,
Right?
maquinito.
Not this. This is working by itself. Boom, boom. Right? So when I do my center, I move the pelvis where I want the legs to go, right? Yes? Yay! Okay, guys. That's pretty much what. Sometimes when I do these drills, like I said, sometimes I just go right into it in the basic, right? So it's good to start from the beginning. Yes, you will have this video inside of the members area that you can practice over and over again, right? And just do the steps that I talked about. Doing the steps with everything being stacked, right? Even look at yourself in the mirror, making sure you're not like this, right? I am up, not arched, belly in, enclosed, right? You want to feel, even if you just stand here and do this, you should just already feel like, oh my God, I'm so centered. Like you just feel, even if you just close your eyes, you feel and rock back and forth. You should feel just one piece moving, yes? One piece, because you are stacked on top of the spine, right? Or actually wrapping around the spine. Now, and then you're going to move into just doing your walks, your weight shifts, right? We don't walk like this, so we wouldn't do that in dance. Same thing. Ha. Ha. Yes? Then we start adding in the hip motion. Why? Because my knees are bent. I'm still nice and tall and stacked. I go to move on my basic step. I take the center with me. Don't move the head. Drive the center down into the floor, and the hip shifts back. Yes? We do it slow, right? We do core beats. We just do walks. We add it to cha-cha. Now we're adding it to salsa. So I'm going to go over it a little bit more in depth with the salsa because I just went in with the music. But same thing applies with the kum sound. And it's not to say this won't work with the numbers. But I just, again, I wanted to give you a glimpse of why we teach with the kum sound because I have something to connect to. When years, go by and you saying, I've been using the kum, right, the tumbao rhythm for so long, you can start actually opening your mind to other musical instruments. Yes, the cowbell, the repetition of the thing, doom, 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 right? That, yes, will get better down the line to become more musical, but you have to start somewhere. Yeah, for me, the conga beat rhythm was pretty much my starting step, right? My stepping stone into the rest of the music. because the conga beat is inside of the song. Yeah, it's inside. It's like the heartbeat of the song. When I dance to the numbers, I dance on top of the song. In my opinion, I'm dancing on the surface. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I'm not listening to the song. 5, 6, 7. I'm listening to the numbers in my head. When I start getting inside, inside of the music, which is why I like to use the conga beat, I start to becoming more musical. Yes, I start to actually listen. Yeah. So with that in mind, right, if we're putting the weight, right, same weight shift exercise, if we're putting the weight onto the left and I take my first salsa basic on the right, I stick my first step, right, again, knee bent, I'm starting with the ball of the foot, gung, gung, and then I go forward on my 2, 3. The 2 also has a hip motion, the 2, 3. So 2, 3, 2, 3. Again, head down, head is level, is not moving, 2, 3, and I weight shift back to my center. This is something else that we need to understand, right? It's not 2, 3. Look, if I do 2, 3, can you tell where my weight is? It's actually distributed. Yeah, it's distributed. 2, 3 is not a weight shift. So this also applies with weight shift, right? Talking about the 2, 3. Some people, oh, but I am weight shifted. It's like, okay, but can you lift up your left? No, you can't. When you do 2, 3, you should be back on your center weight, which is in the center. Yeah, which is in your center. So 2, 3, I quickly shift back. Ba, ba. With a hip as well, right? Let me tuck in so you can see my hip. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Your goal as a dancer, yes, is to make sure you're always shifting your weight. Yes, always shifting your weight. And because you have most of the weight in your center, it's where the goal is where you want to get the weight back is your center, right? 2, 3, 2, 3. I don't want to hang out here, 2, 3, and then I want to do something else. It's like, I don't even know what leg to move next. Yeah? So 2, 3. Then again, after I hip shift because my head's level, 2, 3, I press and step in the center, right? Because now I'm going to do another hip and weight shift. Goom, goom. Completely shifted the weight. And now I want to do my 6, 7, which is my quick, quick. So yes, weight comes over the 6 a little bit. Remember the center, not here, right? I don't move like this. Yeah, I don't move like this. I am, just like we did in the beginning, stacked here. I move the pelvis because I need some weight on the back leg. Ba, 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 right? There's no way I'm going to push the 6 with no weight in it, right? And again, I would never do this. So I'm stacked my torso. I move the pelvis back to the 6, 6, 7. But I quickly move it back to the 7. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Now, even though this is down and connected, there's no weight. It's just, so now that the weight is on the 7, now I have time to shift again in the center. Goom, goom, which is my 8 and 1. Let's keep going. 2, 3. Goom, goom. Whoosh. Remember, I will go back, but think of going back as one piece. 6, 7. 6, 7. So you go back as one piece and forward as one piece. Back as one piece and forward as one piece, right? I'll do it this way. Goom, goom. 2, right? I don't do this. 2 or 2. Yes, I go moving as the center. 2, 3, and I go back as the center. 2, 3, 2, 3, right? What moved? Me as one stacked piece. 2, 3, and then goom, goom. Again, I'm one stacked piece, but now I want to fully shift the hip back, and then I can do back on the 6 a little bit. 6, 7. 6, 7. And that's also how you get quicker in doing shines and doing choreography, because you have to get the weight there in order to be like, oh, I'm moving on to the next move when you're learning like a choreography, right? Or a shine. You can't be like 6, 7, oh my God, I don't know how to get to the other one, or like dead weight. You'll never get quick, yeah? Center and push. Yes? Center brings me back as a whole. push in the floor, and then come back again to your center as a whole. Push, end. Basic. Kum, kum, push, end. Kum, kum, push, end. Kum, kum, push, end. Kum, kum, ba, ba. Kum, kum, press, push. Kum, kum, press, push. Kum, kum, press, push. Kum, kum, hip shift and center. Press, push. Yes? Hopefully that's not too much for your brain. Again, practice. So let me go into a song. I'll do a half a song with. Okay, before I go into a song and let's be implementing all this technique, can I see who exactly here is a member? I do recognize some names that are members, like Betsy. I saw Jennifer. Nicole, I think, is a member. Sandra. Just kidding. So let me know in the chat, who is a member of My Salsa Online? Because we are doing lives for members only, but today we actually opened it up, this tip in particular, because we wanted to what is it called? Reveal. Sandra uses. We wanted to reveal the new platform that we're using for the live classes. So again, Joelle and I go live every Tuesday and Thursday for different levels, and I will now start going live for Salsa Lady Styling tips twice a month. And this is on top of, again, the intensives that I've been doing. So Stephanie, member. Rosa, member. Oh, cool. So if you're not a member, you will still get the opportunity to join for the trial. I think we're still doing the free trial. Joelle? Yes. We're still doing the free trial for the $7. So if you're not a member, you will have the opportunity to join for $1, and you're going to get a whole week where you can look inside, right? And you'll have access to the live classes that are coming up Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we do different levels every Tuesday and Thursday. It's actually two live classes per level. So it's either like the first and the third will be your level, or the second and the fourth Thursday will be your level. And then again, I will start implementing 2 live classes for the styling tips, so stuff like this, okay? And then anything that we do outside, like say we do an intensive for 2 hours or a musicality webinar, all members get 50% off or more, sometimes 60% off of those webinars, okay? So that is also a good incentive. For the membership, it's only $22.95. We're doing an offer for $22.95 per month. Per month with everything that I mentioned, okay? Everything that I mentioned includes my styling tips, includes me and Joelle's classes, includes access to the bootcamp, includes access to the musicality. $22.95 for the month includes all that. The 50-60% off anything else we do outside is separate, but again, you're only paying $22.95 per month, so anything else you're paying for a webinar, I don't know, half price of $30, which you're paying like $12.50 sometimes when we do webinars. Cool? I just signed up yesterday. My salsa teacher oh, thank you, Jennifer. Who's your salsa teacher? That's nice to hear. I'm so glad you joined. Welcome. Mariette. Yes, Mariette's a member. Betsy. Okay, cool. Member. I see a guest member. Cool. Currently a member with another. Oh, good. But I want to join the new. Okay, good. Thank you, Nancy. Good. So, Nancy, if you want to join, it's again $1 for the 7 days with access to everything. Okay? And again, me and Joelle, we are working super hard, as well as the backing end team, Sandra, RJ, Mir. We're working super hard to keep perfecting the system and keep adding more. So we're also going to add, besides the webinars for the guest instructors that are outside of My Salsa Online, let's say, they have their own products. You get 50% off of their products. And we are going to start bringing them in to do like lives like this for exclusively for members. Okay, so now we're going to actually implement guest instructors to do maybe 40 minutes just for the members, besides the musicality webinars and all that. That's separate. Okay, so we're working on good things because we know now this is like the new norm with all this online stuff. So we are trying to make it better and better to give you guys a better experience. Cool? Who? Oh, Darren. Oh, good. Oh, tell Darren I said hi. I know Darren. We met him in one of the congresses, or I can't remember. It was Colorado, I think. Denver, I think we met him there at one of the festivals. Yay, cool. Tell him thank you. Hi, I'm a guy just checking in. I'm spreading the word to the young lady. Oh, thank you, Pete. Actually, weight shifting is good for men as well, right? It's good for both. Joel, of course, he's not, exaggerating the hip motion so much. He's here. But weight shifting, period, is a very good tool to understand what your body is doing, especially when you're doing shines. Guys do shines too. You have to understand the quickness of a shine, right? How to get quick and how to weight shift. Okay, so these tips are not only for ladies. I shouldn't say that. All right, let me do cha-cha, and then I'll come back to the questions. So we can do the basic. Okay, there's a button below, Joelle said, to do the dollar trial. If you guys are interested in doing the membership for either $22.95 for the month, or I think it's $199 for the year. This is the special, okay, because we're not running the special for that long. So let's do the kum kum, right? Ba. Kum kum. Right, so the weight's on the left. When I start the basic, I'm gonna shift with the kum kum on the right. Pressing, shifting. So right away, if you're gonna shift, look at my body, right? Shift, yeah? 1, 3, 5, we take a shift. Kum kum, ba. Kum kum, ba. Look how my whole body moves. Ba. Kum kum, ba. Kum kum, ba. Kum kum, ah. Kum kum. 2, 3, kum kum, 6 and 7, kum kum, 2, 3, right? So what happens if I'm doing this? Kum kum, ba, kum kum, 6, 7, right? Frankenstein, no. Lift, ba, 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 ba. So even though I'm driving down, I also want you to think like, I'm thinking of my spine still elongating, right? Even though I'm driving down and I'm not doing this, I'm still thinking of this lift, yeah? Even though I'm wrapped, right? Ba. Does that make sense? So it's like an opposite force, opposite energy. So I'm driving in the floor, but I'm thinking of space in my spine. Ba. Boom, boom. Ba, ba, boom, boom. Ba, ba. Right? Everything moves. Boom, boom. Ba, ba.
Yo no creo.
Ba, ba. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. 2. Let's do a side basic. Boom, boom. 2, 3. Remember? 6, 7. But it's quick. Even though I move, I push quick. But the whole body, or the center, is moving. Center is moving. Does that make sense? Da, da. This is my center. It's a little bit of weight to push back. A little bit of weight to push back.
Desde México a Patagonia, desde Cuba hasta el Japón, se siente una
Basic
fiebre
forward.
sabrosa, es el ritmo que tiene.
Okay, don't forget the shift. The shift.
Que viene de Cuba.
Sometimes you might release it, which is fine. Just come back. Ba. Boom, boom. Ba. Boom, boom. Ba. Boom, boom. Bounce, bounce.
Oye, qué lío.
Ba, ba.
Ay, qué bonito. Qué bonita estuvo tu rima, mi hermano.
2, 3,
Esa es la
6,
inspiración
7.
que tenemos ahora que cantamos mano a mano. Ahora soy yo.
Y que lo sepa la gente que aquí no hay rivalidad, que tú y yo sí somos hermanos.
Ahora soy yo. Claro que sí nos une la clave y el sentimiento de humanos. Ahora soy yo.
También nos une el
Side basic.
que es el que rige nuestro corazón.
Y ahora Rafaelito va a poner una
Engage the belly, right? Sometimes I lose it too. I have to like think of engaging the belly, right? And the tailbone. Sometimes I arch too, right? Things that I tweak as I go, right? I arch. Tailbone down. Basic forward. If you do this for 20 minutes a day, I guarantee your salsa level will go up. Let's do a salsa song. That was cha-cha. Right? The boom boom is there. Ba, 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 clear here.
Te agita y te enreda,
Ba.
pecadora.
Ba, ba. Now it's faster, right?
Después que
But
te
I still
abraza,
drive.
te
Drive it
devora.
down. Drive it down.
No se puede
Here
querer,
you should be sweating because I'm really working because I have to be a little quicker.
no se
Boom,
puede creer
boom.
en la caína. Tú crees que la tienes controlada.
Right? So if you don't feel like you're working in the center, you're not getting the pelvis in the right
Se
position.
puede querer
Right? If you feel like, oh, but this
a
is
la
like
caína.
easy. Yeah?
No se
That means the
puede
legs are
creer
working
en
individually.
la caína.
Yes? Now it's working with the torso.
A la caína.
Ah, ah. You should be pushing.
No se puede querer a la caína.
Ba, 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 ba. Side basic.
No se
The
puede
whole
querer
body. The whole body.
caína.
Push though.
El invierno
6,
y la
7,
nieve
2,
te van a atrapar.
6,
La primavera
2,
nunca verá llegar.
basic.
No se puede querer a la
Back
caína.
basic.
La juventud tiene que entender que la caína es
Okay, I didn't talk about the pushing there. That'll be another video. That takes different technique. Ba, 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 ba.
Y así sensible no la vayas a probar. No se puede querer
But I am
a
pushing.
la caína. La caína te quita la conciencia y la razón. Y seguro ni cuenta te das. No se puede querer a la caína.
Ba, 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 boom, boom, ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba. 3, 6, 7, 3, boom, boom, ba, ba. Okay, guys. See, I'm breaking a sweat because when you have to move faster, right? But you have the weight on top of the leg, that means the leg has now something to push. That's why I say you should be sweating because you're actually working, right? It's kind of like pushing, I don't know, whatever this weighs, or maybe half of this weight, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, like pushing it, right? Because now you have to use muscle. So the reason I sweat when I'm doing fast is because I have to get, right? The body just has to work more because everything is stacked. Now you have something to use to move across the floor. Yes? I said I wanted to do a pushing the floor. That's another video. I was going to fit it in this, but I thought the weight shift and the hip would take up enough of time, which already we're passing the hour. I thought it was going to be 30 minutes. But now you have something to practice all weekend. Cool? Any questions up until here? Otherwise, we're going to end this. And again, you'll have this video forever as long as you are a member. So if you want to join the membership, please do so by clicking the link below, mysalsaonline.com/$1, because we're doing an offer for the $1 for 7 days. And then you will get the offer special, which is $22.95 per month. Okay? In New York City, we charge $22 for one class. So we're doing this because we love it. We have a lot to offer. We have a lot of knowledge to share, a lot of great tips. So we want you guys to get the best, right? We understand that it's still online, even though it's not live, but it's still great content and tips. So for $22 that you spend one class in New York City, you can have it online for the month. Or you can do $199 for the year, which I think is less than $17 a month. It's like 16 something per month. And that you'll be billed annual, okay? Veronica, thank you, Veronica. Yay! I'm so glad you guys like these tips. Please ask questions, even if you think it's like the smallest question or a question that you feel like, oh my God, I'm going to sound stupid. It's not, nobody sounds stupid. We're all learning. So please ask me anything about the weight shift, about the hip motion, or actually give me a tip that you would like to see me do. Okay, I know I already have a few that a couple have asked me when I did the intensives, which I'm going to start again towards the end of the month. The intensives where I do the choreography for 2 hours. So I'll stay tuned for those. And please let me know if you have any questions like, oh, I'm having trouble with my balance, right? That will be like 20 videos because there's ways you can fix it. But I will start working on balance tips. Great lesson and easy. Good. It's easy because I'm hopefully breaking it down. And what do you guys think of this system, right? It's super clear. Like, do you feel like it's like television quality? Because that's what we're striving for, yes? Great tips. Thank you. You're welcome. So let me know, guys, if you have any questions, if you like the quality, if you have any questions about the membership. Oh, the replay will be up? Okay, so the replay will be up for how long? So we'll leave the replay up. So if you want to share this tip, you can share the link. Joelle is saying you can still share the link. The replay of this live will be up in probably for a few hours, he said. Okay? And then we're going to section it off into the salsa tip section, styling tips in the members area. Cool? Since COVID, I was thinking I will have to learn salsa at a distance. I am thinking I'll have to learn the salsa at a distance. How to do that? Yes, you're in the right place, Jennifer. You mean distance from a partner or distance from New York City? Because you're in the right place if you were learning New York style from where you're living, which is right now is the online way to go, right? So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think because you're by yourself, you have all this time to practice on your own, right? There's nobody standing in your way. There's no lines of rotating. So online is the way to go. And we're giving, again, just as much content as we do in our school in New York City. So for now, online is the way to go. And understanding your footwork, because that's so much more important. And that's half the battle. When you learn, actually more than half the battle. When you learn, Jennifer, your footwork and your timing and your control and your technique, getting with a partner is pretty much the easy thing. He's pretty much guiding you because you already, remember I said you're moving as a whole, right? So if Joelle were to lead me in something, I go. He doesn't need to force me into an outside turn, right? Inside turn. I go with the body because now I understand my body, yeah? He's the guider. He's the directional, yes? I am the dancer as the follower, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, distance from a partner. That's exactly what I meant. Any drills for arm styling? Always feel yes. I'm going to start doing. I'm sorry. Peter, can I join the trial? Yes, Peter. The trial is for everyone because me and Joelle go live. Me and Joelle together go live on Tuesday and Thursday with shines and partner work. And even if you don't have a partner, we break down separately the leader's footwork and the follower's footwork because we feel like it's super important for you guys to know it and then you partner up. So yes, it's open to everyone. This I'm just showing a tip of what we have also inside of the members area, okay? This is just a peek. So Nicole, I will start doing arm drills. That's a really good question because I am going to start doing just drills for certain arms. So I'll section those again, either live or in video format where you're going to just drill a certain move, like say left turn drills, right turn drills, stuff for styling, okay? So don't worry, I got you, girl. My fingers and arms look like tree branches, not in a good way. Yes, I will go over that as well. That is coming. I have all my videos lined up. Cool, guys. Pete, the trial. Okay, Sandra's just responding to Pete. Okay, if you don't have any questions about the weight shift and any of the hip stuff, and you're not a member, join us. We would love to have you part of the community. It's super cool. Again, the lives on Tuesday and Thursday with Joelle and myself. We do shines and partner work, and then you'll have more of these styling tips as well as any other tips that we feel is going to go inside of the members area. Okay? Hi, Ella. Ella, say hi, Mommy. And my daughter, she also takes tips. She does tips. Go ahead. Go tell them. Can you show your arm styling that you were doing the other day? She dances too. Okay. Thank you, Ermine. Oh, Ermine, you're here. Cool. You're welcome. I hope this helped. And if you want to write me directly on what you want to tip What do you want to see, a video tip or a live? Please write me directly or write to support at My Salsa Online, and we will try to get all the tips covered. Cool? Have a great, great rest of the weekend, and share this link if you want, because Joelle said it'll be up for the next few hours. Thank you, guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a safe and nice long weekend. Oh, no, it's not a long weekend. What am I saying? That was last weekend. Have a safe weekend. For me, every long weekend. Have a safe weekend. And tomorrow's going to be 90, so stay cool in New York at least. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.